So let's begin. So I guess obviously everyone knows this is about the guide to the OPP exam. It's conducted by Corbett House, Gate House, and Ace Grade. Um, so if you haven't attended the previous talk where we introduced about SCT, so I'll just run through the requirements, the mandatory things that you need for attempting the OPP. The first thing is obviously a laptop or a desktop. You need a computer to access the exam portal. That's where you'll be writing and attempting all of your questions. So you need one of those. You need a phone. A mobile phone is compulsory. Both of these should have a working webcam or a camera. If your laptop doesn't have a webcam, or if you're using a desktop, you will need an external webcam with a functional camera. You also need a tripod or a mobile stand to place your phone. Um,
Srijal, can you turn off your microphone?
okay.
Thank you.
Now, if you don't have any of these, so there is a link within the slides. The slides would be shared with you, and I'll also demonstrate it as well, where we have given you some recommended products for laptops, webcams, and phone stands that you can purchase. But it is mandatory that you have all of these things before your OPP exam. Uh, Now, before I even begin about the process for OPP, there are certain clarifications. I think this should answer most of your questions. Uh, if unless you're repeating your OPP, giving the SCT is mandatory. Um, Now, the point of the SCT is to make sure that the exam portal and everything else works normally, and that you're not facing any technical issues with running the exam portal. So for that, SCT is mandatory for you. If you are repeating OPP, it's not mandatory. Although we recommend that you do it just to make sure that everything is working all right. Uh, Another important point is IITM, they won't give you any support for technical issues during OPP. So if you're facing any kind of technical issue, whether your exam portal is not working, you are not able to log in, all of that, there won't be any support for that. Whatever it is, you will have to get it clarified during the SCT slots. I think there are a couple of more days of SCT slots given to you. So make sure that you give the SCT, whether you have a mobile stand or not, give the SCT, make sure that the exam portal is working for you. And so that you are ready for the OPP. The second thing is there is no minimum marking criteria for OPP1. There is passing criteria, but you can, there's no minimum marks as such for the OPP1. Again, like I said, both the PC and a PC with a working webcam and a mobile phone is mandatory for the OPP. We are getting multiple questions regarding this, so I'm just clarifying all of this right at the start. If you're using an external mobile phone for hotspot purposes, you will have to declare this to your proctor before the exam starts and place it next to your computer so that the proctor can see it. You can use the mobile that's on the tripod for hotspot purposes, but you'll be using it for the Gmeet and the exam portal. So there could be chances that you have bandwidth related issues. So it's recommended that you use a second phone if you're using it for hotspot purposes. If it's not there, that's not an issue. Obviously, it's ideal if you have a proper bandwidth, proper internet connectivity, so that there are no issues with your internet connection. This is the most important thing. Whichever your slot is, you will have to join the Gmeet link 30 minutes prior to your slot. So that means if your exam is between 10 to I think 11:30 or 10 to 12, you will have to join 30 minutes before the slot begins. That's at 9:30 is when you would be joining. And if you have an evening slot, so whenever your OPP exam begins, you will have to join your Gmeet 30 minutes before. Also, if anyone is found cheating, strict action will be taken against you. So there's an entire document which talks about the punishments that were given out. And these included revoking placement support and termination from the program as well. So do not cheat on the OPP. Be honest, and it doesn't matter any form of cheating, whether caught, even if you're not caught during the OPP, it'll be caught afterwards as well. So strict action will be taken against you. So, do not cheat in the exam. Obviously, you'll receive all of your links to the Gmeet and the exam portal link through email. I think you'll be getting it like 1 or 2 days before the OPP date. So just wait for those emails, and you will find all of the links and all of the instructions as well, uh, which would be sent out in the email. Now, coming to the OPP, I guess you probably know by now, it is known as Online Proctored Programming Exam. So this is a programming test that you give from your home under a proctored environment. There's this entire setup where you have your laptop, you have your mobiles uh, on a tripod, and there's a proctor that would watch you write the exam. It typically consists of 5 to 6 programming questions. I think usually 5 is what we've seen till now, but there could be more as well. And each question has about 4 to 8 private test cases, and the entire thing would be similar to your GRPS or the weekly mock test that you'd be giving. Now, passing all of the private test cases for a question will give you 100 marks. So, for example, if a question has 4 test cases, passing each test case would give you 25 marks, and passing all of them would give you 100 marks. So that's how the grading works for a question. And you will need at least 40% total score to pass the OPP. So it doesn't matter if you're not able to pass all of the private test cases in a particular question, but overall you will have to score at least 40% of the total marks to pass your OPP. The questions will be a similar level as your GRP and PPS. There will also be mock tests that are provided before the OPP. So they'll be sharing like 10 to 12 questions. Like in the next couple of days, it will show up on your dashboards. So you could use your GRPS, you could use your PPS and this mock test that they'll be providing to practice for the OPP. And I'm not sure if you've seen your grading log, but passing all of your OPPs is mandatory to pass the entire course. So whether you have one OPP or 2 OPP, depending on the course. So DBMS and PTSC have only one OPP, but Python I think has 2 OPPs. So regardless of the number of OPPs, passing all of them is mandatory. I've already mentioned this. All of the links, the exam portal, the Gmates, you will be receiving it through email in the next 1 or 2 days before the OPP exam. And have tons of questions about SIA. And I'd like to clarify that SIA is an outdated software and there is no need to install it. There is no need to worry about it. Some of the documentation or some of the docs that you have seen still mentions it. So we have talked to the technical team and they have been informed to correct these docs and remove it. But do not worry about SIA. It is already implemented in the exam portal that you will be giving your OPP on. So you do not need to install, download any app. We have had like hundreds of questions about this. So I hope this is clear. Now, so on the day of your OPP exam, like I said, you will be joining or you will be starting 30 minutes prior to your slot. So let's say if your exam starts at 10 o'clock, this is what you'll be doing at 9:30. And similarly, if your exam is at 2 o'clock, whatever I'll be saying from now on, you'll be doing like 30 minutes prior to that, to your respective slots. So if your exam is at 2 o'clock, you'll be doing this at 1:30. So on your mobile phone, what you'll have to do is join the Gmeet link. And so this will be shared with you on your emails. And so what you'll have to do is take your mobile, join the Gmeet link and turn on your video. Also, you'll have to join with your student email ID. So only you'll have to log into your student email ID on your mobile phone. Download the Meet app and join it 30 minutes before your OPP slot. Turn on your video. Now there would be a proctor that would be joining also 30 minutes before the slot. So wait for your proctor and they will give you further instructions regarding the verification process. So they will be calling. So there'll be like 20 to 30 people in your meet. The proctor will be calling out each one by name, and they'll give you instructions on how to verify yourself. So they'll ask you to, um, move your mobile around to show your surroundings, and all of that. So they'll give you instructions on what to do. You just have to follow them step by step, and you'll only have to switch your microphone on only when you're called out by the proctor. So you'll be on mute the entire time, and only when your proctor calls you out is when you unmute yourself, and follow their instructions. Um, a key point to note here is you do not need to give any personal information to those proctors. You do not need to give out your name. You do not need to give out your mobile number, and any personal information is you don't need to give it to them. I think this is also mentioned in your SAP docs as well, but I wanted to highlight the same. Um, so now, once this verification process is complete, um, again, the proctor will let you know all of the things. You'll have to attach the mobile phone back to your tripod, and again, place it in such a way that your desk, laptop screen, and all of them are visible. Hopefully, by performing the SAT, you would have figured out where to place the tripod so that this criteria is satisfied. But if you haven't, there's a link to a video by IITM which shows different positions and uh, you know the acceptable spots to put your tripod in during the OPP. So you can take a look at this video. Uh, Now on your laptop, again 30 minutes. So this is closer to your OPP time. Once your verification process is complete on the mobile, you will have to um, now again, this is a example screen. The actual contents of the portals and uh, all the portals would be slightly different. So these are just examples. So again, hope that's clear. So anyways, when you open up your exam link, you will find something like this. Now this is from the SAT. This screenshot is from the SAT. But your actual OPP will also look similar to this. There will be a link to your respective subject. So if you're writing the Python OPP, there'll be a link to the Python test. If you're writing for DBMS, it'll be for DBMS and so on. So you just click on the link for your respective subject, and what will then happen is your browser will ask for certain permissions. It'll ask for your location, it'll ask for your webcam, it'll ask for your screen sharing. Give all of these permissions, and after doing that, the exam window will open, and it looks something like this. Again, this is an example. The actual portal might vary a little bit, but broadly speaking, what you will see is there's a QR and a barcode. You don't have to worry about the QR and barcode. Just make sure that it shows up. To its right hand side, where you see the red text, there will be two small windows, one with your webcam feed, one with your screen, like a mirror of your screen. Just make sure that both of them are live and functional. You will see these sections where there's a code of conduct and instructions which you'll have to acknowledge. And then there'll be your questions. If there are 5 questions, you'll find 5 of them. If there are 4, there are 4 of them. So depending on your subject, there'll be n number of questions. And then towards the right hand side, there'll be details about the question and the place, an editor to type in your code and test it out. Now this section will be similar to your mock test and the GRPA section, so there's nothing, there won't be anything new about it. Towards the bottom right hand side, there's a chat window. If you need to talk to your proctor for any issues, whether it is power cut, whether it is due to an internet issue, whatever the case might be, if you ever need to talk to your proctor, you will have to make use of your chat window. You type in your query, wait for them to respond back. Usually they are pretty quick. They'll get back to you within a couple of minutes. But if you need to talk to your proctor for any reason, you will be making use of your chat window. Now, there is also a timer and a calculator given for you. These are pretty standard stuff. The most important thing is there is this counter which keeps track of how many times you moved out of this particular window. So once this exam window is open, you will not be allowed to switch tabs or move to a different application. If you do so, it will be counted and it will also be recorded as well. It'll show you how many times you moved away. So make sure that this count shows zero. And even if it increases due to any reason, if it is a genuine reason, you will have to inform your proctor. So I think we have a bunch of questions around what will happen if there's a power cut or there's an internet connectivity issue. So whenever there's a power cut or an internet connectivity issue, this counter will increase because you'll get disconnected. But you will be able to connect back. And the moment you're connected back, you will have to inform your proctor about the reason for a disconnection. So you'll just say that, you'll type into the window that, you were disconnected due to X reason, Y reason, whatever it may be. And you will continue about your OPP. Another point is that the timer will not stop for you. So even if you got disconnected for any reason, the timer will keep running. So just keep a note of that and make sure that all of the arrangements regarding power, internet, and all of that are solid enough that you won't face any interruptions due to these factors as much as possible, at least. Um, so yeah, once the OPP the time begins, you'll be able to. You can then start answering your questions. It'll be similar to how you give your typical your programming assignments or your mock tests. So there'll be a question given. There'll be a couple of public cases. You'll be able to type in your code, test it, submit it. Now, remember that you will have to. Don't forget to submit your code. Only the submitted code will be counted. So don't forget about that. And I think that's all as far as the guide for OPP is concerned. And I think we can take any questions that you might have.
Dress code.
What was that? VS Code?
Dress code. Dress code.
Dress code. नहीं शादी में नहीं जा रहे हैं, so there won't be dress code, like
you won't be allowed to use headphones or earphones of any sort. So on your mobile you'll be on speaker. The proctor would be talking out of your mobile if they need to contact you. But mostly the chat window is what you'll be using to communicate with your proctor. You won't be allowed to use headphones or earphones of any kind. So I'll open up the queue. Sani Nirmal, you can unmute or type into your chat.
What is the eligibility criteria for OPPE1?
Nothing.
Yeah, so there's no eligibility criteria. Everyone is able to write OPPE1. But I think you can take a look at your grading doc for that information. निर्मल, you can ask your question.
Yes. फोन है वो हॉटस्पॉट और जीमीट दोनों के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं एक फोन को?
आप यूज कर सकते हो, बट वी डोंट रिकमेंड दैट बिकॉज वो बैंडविड्थ के इश्यूज आ सकते हैं. आप यूज कर सकते हो, बट फिर जो अगर दिक्कत आए तो आप पे ही होगा.
और अगर जो जीमीट कनेक्ट होगा इसके अंदर लैपटॉप के अंदर, उसका माइक्रोफोन ऑन रखना होगा या उसका ऑफ रख सकते हैं?
देखो, लैपटॉप में आप जीमीट ज्वाइन नहीं करोगे.
अच्छा, एससीटी के अंदर हुआ था इसलिए?
नहीं, एससीटी में बस स्क्रीनशॉट लेने के लिए ज्वाइन किए थे. ओपीपी के टाइम आप लैपटॉप में जीमीट नहीं ज्वाइन करोगे.
ओके.
Just to clarify, you will be joining the Gmeet only through your mobile phone. So Gmeet should only be joined through your mobile phone, and your laptop you will only be opening the exam portal.
ओके. लास्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा है कि क्वेश्चन किस टाइप के आएंगे, डिबग द कोड वाले या फिल इन द कोड वाले, किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं?
आपके जो जो वीकली टाइम मॉक्स होते हैं या प्रोग्रामिंग असाइनमेंट्स होते हैं, इस टाइप का होंगे. एंड एक मॉक टेस्ट भी दिया जाएगा, तो आपको वो देख सकते हो टू गेट एन आइडिया ऑफ किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं.
ओके, थैंक यू.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can we use headphones or earphones during the OPPE?
No.
You won't be allowed to use. I think I already said that you won't be allowed to use headphones. Madhav, Sanjay, you can unmute or type in the chat.
Hello, I had two questions. Like
Sure.
first, what the is there any result of SCT that you have uh, completed all the given instructions and now you are successfully eligible for OPP? That is the first question.
No. So there are no result that is given out for SCT. It is just for you to check that the exam portal is working uh, properly. If it is not working, then you can contact support and get it fixed. So they won't give you any result that you passed SCT as such.
And the second question was on the day of exam, what all we have to log in means like you said from the laptop we don't need to join Gmeet and from the mobile we have to join Gmeet,
Yeah.
right?
So okay, I'll just repeat that. So on the day of the exam, you'll have to join the Gmeet from your mobile and the exam portal link from your laptop, and that is all you have to do.
And can we keep our microphone like off the mobile? We have to just the camera should be on.
Yes. So off the mobile, your microphone should be off, camera should be on. During the 30-minute verification phase, your proctor will ask you to unmute yourself. At which time you will only have to unmute. Otherwise, it will stay muted the entire duration.
Thanks.
Ayush Kumar, you can unmute yourself or type into the chat.
Does we require any identification? I mean, identity card just like we have to in the exam.
So what you'll have to do is, most likely you won't be asked about identification, but your proctor might ask you to show your IITM ID card. So you can keep that ready on your laptop to verify that the person on the identity card is the same person writing the exam. That's the only thing you would be needing in the form of identification. It'll be so all of this will happen in the 30 minutes before the exam starts. So if your proctor requires it, you can open it up right away.
Oh, thank you.
Sir, can we upload the screenshot of the meeting that we will be attending at the end of the exam before submitting the whole process, or it should be done within those 30 minutes? Like after 30 minutes above, first thing should be the uploading of the photo.
So there won't be any uploading of your photo. You'll only share your screen. You'll only show it to your proctor in the 30 minutes. You won't have to upload it anywhere.
He's like us. I think he's asking about SCT. He's from ES, I guess. So yeah, like if you are doing your SCT, yeah, you can upload anytime, like in between or after 30 minutes.
Okay, so the uploading process was only for the SCT and not for the OPPE.
Yeah, not for the OPPE. And
Okay,
if
sir.
you have
Okay, sir.
if you have missed your SCT, don't worry. You can appear for your OPP and can continue. Just simple.
Acha, if you
Okay,
miss
sir.
selecting your time slot and not a default slot will be allocated to you automatically. You won't be given any choice to choose your slot. So if you miss selecting your slot, you can ignore it. You'll get some random slot. Ayush Kumar, you can ask your question. Ayush?
Sir, marks will be deducted or not if I didn't join the SCT exam?
No marks would
No.
be deducted if you didn't join your SCT exam.
Okay, sir.
भाई मेरा डाउट है
अरे एक
मैं
सेकंड यार, एक के बाद एक जाता है, एक सेकंड. हर्षिल, you can ask your question.
मोबाइल स्टैंड होना कंपलसरी है क्या?
हाँ.
लेकिन मतलब मैं हॉस्टल में हूँ और मेरा भी क्विज़ेस और एक जर्नल चल रही है, तो मेरे लिए मोबाइल स्टैंड लाना मुश्किल होगा क्योंकि हॉस्टल में रहता हूँ. तो
यार वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा, लाइक आप ऑनलाइन भी ऑर्डर कर सकते हो ना.
कोई ऐसा और तरीका नहीं है कैसे वो डिजायर्ड व्यू पे हम रख दें कोई भी एक जगह पे?
वो
प्रॉक्टर कई बार आपको बोलते हैं कि आप ऐसे व्यू में रखो, ऐसे एंगल से रखो, तो वो ऐसे रैंडम जुगाड़ से पॉसिबल नहीं है, आपको दिक्कत हो सकती है. तो लाइक यू हैव टू बाय वन. मेरे पास भी वही हुआ था, मेरा कहीं छूट गया था और मुझे जस्ट एक बार के लिए खरीदना पड़ा था. तो क्या
Acha, someone asked in the chat, is webcam needed? Yes, a webcam, a functional camera on your laptop is needed. So if your webcam is not working, or if you're using a desktop, you'll have to buy an external webcam. Aditya Prakash, you can
Laptop
ask.
camera will not come. Excuse me.
हाँ लैपटॉप कैमरा
Laptop.
चलेगा तो चलेगा.
Hello, भैया.
हाँ आदित्य पूछ.
Like, भैया, I just joined the meet. We have our SCT 9:30 p.m. Can you just explain what to do for SCT?
Okay, so you just join the exam portal link. There are a couple of checklist items that they'll ask. Whether everything is working, so and so,
Like,
so
is
and
there
so. And so.
anything I need to download?
No, you don't have to download anything. That was also already mentioned in this meet, but you don't have to download anything. Everything is in the exam portal. It'll ask you to take a proctor view screenshot. So you'll have to set up your mobile stand such that your laptop screen, your face, everything is visible. Take a screenshot in the Gmail, upload it for the SCT. Upload is only for the SCT, and sit in that meet and the exam portal for 30 minutes, and you can exit.
Okay.
Sir Irfan, you can ask your question or type in the chat.
Sir, I want to ask that is the test run button will be there on the exam portal so that we can check where our code is correct or not?
Yes, there will be public test cases that will be given. So you can test. So the interface is exactly same as your programming assignment. So you can test your code. So there are a couple of public cases as well. But your scoring will be only on the basis of the number of private test cases passed. So a lot of time what happens is that you will pass all the public cases, you won't pass any private cases, and you will then ask why you didn't get any marks. So the scoring is on the basis of the private test cases, but there will be public cases as well for your testing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, couple of more questions in the chat.
सर PYQ मिलेगा क्या?
मॉक टेस्ट मिल जाएंगे, PYQs देखना पड़ेगा आई थिंक.
हाँ मतलब ग्रुप में मिल जाएंगे.
अच्छा, टू आंसर क्वेश्चन, एक सेकंड है
भाई. मेरा एक डाउट है बस.
हाँ पूछ लो
भाई. अगर मैंने वाईफाई यूज कर रहा हूँ, जब भी पावर कट हुआ, मेरा वाईफाई डिस्कनेक्ट होगा तो क्या होगा? ओपे एग्जाम में कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा फिर से ज्वाइन करने पे, या फिर एग्जाम पूरा बंद हो जाएगा?
नहीं, आप फिर से ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. टाइम तो चलता जाएगा, तो टाइम नहीं मिलेगा वापस. एंड आपको प्रॉक्टर को बताना है कि जो भी इशू हुआ, पावर कट वाईफाई, आपको बताना पड़ेगा. अब बार बार पावर कट हुआ, बार बार इशू हुआ, तो प्रॉब्लम आप किक आउट हो सकते हो, बट एक दो बार में कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी.
ओके भाई, थैंक यू.
And Sagarla, you should learn some manners. Like this is not the proper way. Like they reject you, and you should follow the rules.
एक सेकेंड यार, चैट का क्लैरिफाई कर देते हैं. You need not use the same network for both mobile or laptop. You can use Wi-Fi on laptop and mobile data for mobile if that's what you want. Although we recommend using Wi-Fi for both so that you don't get bandwidth related issues. Any network that you want. Can we use charger? Of course, you can use your charger both for your laptop and your mobile as well. Just show that you're using a charger and all of that. So the proctor will ask you to show your surroundings to show that you're using a charger. There is no issue with that. You can't use any external ID to copy paste. You'll get kicked out of the exam. PYQs. There'll be public and private test cases, obviously.
Mark will be only for private test cases. Like each question contains 4 to 8 private test case, and there are 5 question, I guess 5 or can be 6. So you'll get like 5 marks per private test case. So you need to pass at least 8 private test case in any number of course or any number of questions.
Molly, you can ask your question.
Hi, so my doubt is during the verification before the exam starts by the proctor, we have to show our surroundings also, right? Where we are sitting. So during that, are there any prohibited items that should not be present in the room?
So if you're sitting at a desk, so the desk should be empty and there should not be I mean, yeah, you can keep some stuff, but in general, it should be there should not be any.
Humans except you.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any
Oh,
people, and there shouldn't be any objects or papers that you could potentially use to cheat. So it's just a check to make sure that you're not
okay.
using your surroundings to cheat. Basically, there are no prohibited items as such. Uh, it there should not be any other person in the room, obviously, and there should not be anything else on your desk or around it. You can use rough sheets. I think I forgot to mention this. You can use rough sheets, blank sheets of paper. So during the verification process, the proctor will ask you to show each of the rough sheets to make sure that you haven't written anything on them.
Okay. And one more doubt, is it all right if we sit on a desk or on floor for better view for the uh, phone? Is it all
Yeah,
right?
you can sit on a desk or a floor. It depends upon your preference. In either case, your placement of the mobile stand should be such that you know your laptop screen, your location, and your face is visible. So there's a link to a YouTube video which shows all of these scenarios and how to place your mobile stand as well. You can take a look at that and adjust accordingly.
Okay, thank you so much.
साई नीलेश अरे एक सेकंड रुको हिमांशु लाइन से चलता है साई नीलेश यू कैन आस्क योर
Yes,
question.
is there any weightage given to specific type of questions, or is it random?
No, there is equal weightage for all questions. There's no higher marks for one and lesser
No,
marks
I
for
mean,
the other.
as you were saying, matrices questions are prominently asked, so like that, like for
अच्छा
preparation.
नहीं for preparation purposes, there's no weightage as such, but typically, this is like a pattern of sorts more than a weightage. Key matrix, there'll be like one or two matrix questions, there'll be a couple of question on dictionary and so on. So this would be a general pattern, it won't be a weightage as such.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So Umesh Gupta, you can ask your question.
हेलो ओके भैया जैसे भैया जब ओपीपी होगी तो हमें पूरी उसकी प्रोसेस एक बार पूरी बता दीजिए कि हमें कैसे क्या करना है
यार आप एक बार ये स्लाइड्स पढ़ लेना मैं अभी पूरा मीटिंग में तो यही बताया था
मैं एक शॉर्ट रिकैप दे देता हूँ सांग्या सी मैं हिंदी में बता रहा लाइक सी आपको आधे घंटे पहले मीट ज्वाइन करनी है प्रॉक्टर को अपना रूम दिखाना है खुद का शक्ल दिखाना है
गूगल मीट ज्वाइन होनी है वो मोबाइल और लैपटॉप दोनों में करनी है केवल मोबाइल में ही
1 मिनट मोबाइल से आपको मीट ज्वाइन करनी है उसको फोन स्टैंड पे साइड में रख देना है थर्ड एंगल व्यू से थर्ड पर्सन व्यू पे फिर आपको जो रूम वेरिफिकेशन और आइडेंटिफिकेशन है वो करानी है उसके बाद आप एग्जाम पोर्टल खोलोगे अपने पीसी पे और टाइम होते ही एग्जाम स्टार्ट होगा एग्जाम देते रहोगे बीच में कोई डाउट है आप कम्युनिकेशन विंडो पे मैसेज डाल सकते हो या फिर पीछे अपने फोन का माइक ऑन करके उनको प्रॉक्टर को बोल सकते हो कोई भी इशू है और फिर आप एग्जाम कंटिन्यू करोगे और टाइम होते ही बिना बताए लीव कर सकते हो
ओके थैंक यू
अच्छा सुमित
हाँ शशांक भैया
भाई एक छोटा सा कांड हो गया तो ईएस वाले मीट में चले जाओ उनके एससीटी में वो लोग सिया को इंस्टॉल करवा रहे हैं एक बार फिगर आउट करो उधर चल क्या रहा है मैं ई मीट को देखता हूँ
ठीक है आई एम लिविंग
लिंक में दे दिया तुमको एक बार जाके आ जाना मैं तब तक संभाल
ये रूम व्यू दिखाने के लिए प्रॉक्टर कहेगा क्या खुद
अरे एक सेकंड हाँ प्रॉक्टर आपको जो 30 मिनट पहले आप ज्वाइन करोगे एग्जाम से पहले उसमें प्रॉक्टर ये सब संभालेगा हिमांशु आप अपने क्वेश्चन हिमांशु यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेश्चन इन द चैट और अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है सर मेरा लास्ट टर्म में मेरा पाइथन कोर्स था सर तो मेरा एंड टर्म टोटल स्कोर जो था सर वो 50 एबव था बट सर मेरा ओपीपी 1 ओपीपी 2 में मेरा 14 बिलो रह गया था सर मैं फेल हो गया था ओपीपी दोनों में तो सर मैंने इस बार रजिस्ट्रेशन करते टाइम तो मैंने ओनली ओपीपी वाला सेलेक्ट किया था मैंने ऑप्शन
हाँ तो आपको सिर्फ जो 2 OPPs है वो देना पड़ेगा इस बार
वही तो उसके बारे में मुझे अभी तक कोई कंफर्म नहीं हुआ मतलब मेरे पास कोई अपडेट नहीं आया कि हाँ आपका एग्जाम कब है या कौन से स्लॉट में है कब मुझे कोई ऐसा अपडेट ईमेल पे या व्हाट्सएप पे कुछ नहीं दिया गया तो मेरा कैसे कंफर्म होगा कि हाँ मैं ओपीपी दे पाऊंगा या नहीं ना मेरी कोई फीस कटी थी एक्स्ट्रा ओपीपी के लिए।
लाइक आपने आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन देखना पड़ेगा, या फिर आप एक सपोर्ट टीम को एक मेल डाल देना कि मतलब यूजुअली रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाना होता है इसके लिए टर्म के पहले, तो आपने एक बार उनको एक ईमेल ड्रॉप कर दो, वो आपको गाइड कर देंगे। लाइक ये थोड़ा स्कोप से बाहर है मेरे।
तो भैया जैसे अगर ओपीपी में अगर फेल हो जाएंगे तो नेक्स्ट टर्म के लिए एलिजिबल, जैसे मान लो इस बार फाउंडेशन तो कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, अगर मान लो सपोज दैट में ओपीपी में दोनों में फेल हो गया तो हमें डिप्लोमा में एडमिशन मिलेगा नहीं?
नहीं, ओपीपी फेल हुए तो डिप्लोमा में नहीं जा सकते हो। सारा कुछ पास होने के बाद ही आप अगले लेवल में जा पाओगे। तो आपको नेक्स्ट टर्म में जो ओपीपी का पार्ट है वो रिपीट करना पड़ेगा।
तो सर अगर नेक्स्ट टर्म में मेरा जो अगर एक ही कोर्स बचता है पाइथन, तो मुझे वही कंप्लीट करना पड़ेगा नेक्स्ट अगले मंथ।
आपको अनलेस कि आप सारा जो रिक्वायरमेंट से कंप्लीट नहीं करते, आप डिप्लोमा की तरफ नहीं, मतलब डिप्लोमा में एंटर नहीं कर सकते।
ओके ओके सर, ओके सर।
Madhav, Sanjay, you can ask your question.
Hello Bhaiya, I had two doubts. So the first doubt was I joined late, so can you just explain the verification procedure in brief, just in brief?
ठीक है, for verification, right? So if your OPP exam begins at 10 o'clock, you'll be joining 30 minutes before that. So if you have a 10 o'clock slot, you'll join at 9:30. If you have a 2 o'clock slot, you'll join at 1:30 and so on. So you join 30 minutes before, and whatever the verification process is, your proctor will guide you through that. So typically what they'll do is they will ask you to unmute yourself, show the surroundings. Maybe they'll ask you for your identity card. That's about it. Whatever it might be, your proctor will guide you. You do not have to disclose any personal details like phone numbers and so on. The max thing that you will be required to show might be your identity card, your IITM ID card, and that's about it.
And the second question was like what to avoid during the exam. Like if I have doubt, I can ask to that like to the proctor, you said through mic or through the chat window, right? So like changing the tabs is not allowed. What kind of things are not allowed?
So there's an entire guidelines talk about it. I think you should have received it with your SCT email. You can go through that. But in general, you cannot move out of the exam tab. You cannot cheat, obviously, and all of that. And also questions to the proctor, you cannot ask exam related questions. Something is wrong with the particular question. They do not have the authority for that. But if there's any issues with your internet, if there's any issue with your power and you got disconnected for any reason, that's what you'll talk to your proctors about.
Yeah, and how to ask that means you said chat window, but then said they'll reply in couple of minutes. So they'll reply through the
through
audio?
the chat window, yeah.
No audio.
No, I mean, see, if they want to get your attention, they will talk through the meet, but you cannot unmute your meet your Gmeet during the exam. Or they can reply through the chat window as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So whatever it is, your proctor will reach out to you through some means, either the chat window or the Gmeet. For full strength, how many so each Gmeet has around 20 people, and there's one proctor. So there will be like 140, 150 Gmeets as well.
Bhaiya, will you share these slides?
Yeah, these slides will be shared with you. अरे can't use कुछ नहीं है भाई तुम्हारा. It's not for you. And Aranya, you can ask a question. Sorry, Madhav, you can.
Yeah, where will be this shared? Just.
It will be shared in the groups. Wherever you got this meet link from, it will be shared there.
Okay.
Aranya, you can ask your question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
So I want to ask that do we have to join meet in both our mobile and laptop?
No, so Gmeet you'll only be joining through your mobile, and the exam portal you'll be joining from your laptop.
One thing more, so like we don't need to share our screen somewhere.
So the exam portal will ask you to share your screen. That's why you give your permission to the exam portal. You don't have to explicitly share in a meeting and all of that.
Okay. And one more thing, like the doubts we are gonna ask, like we are gonna ask through our phones or through a laptop.
So if you have any questions, I mean, it depends on what kind of question, but if you want to talk to your proctor, you'll be using the chat window. I think I shared a snapshot of that. So there'll be a chat window to the bottom right of your screen. Again, this is an example. The portal might have updated, but there'll be a chat window with which you can communicate with your respective proctor.
Okay, and last, there is one thing I want to ask. Like, my room, like, it's from the J time, so like, I have pasted some like papers from J time on in my walls, and I can't remove them because the wall will tear off. So, do I need to remove them forcefully, like, or they will understand it?
I think most likely they will be able to understand it, but it's preferable if you keep it as as clear of objects as possible. Again, I can't say for sure about this. Most likely they'll be able to accommodate it.
Try to move in another room.
Next person, Sujal Raj, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you.
My question is like about the time.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Sujal.
What time is the evening session for the exam?
Sorry, could you repeat yourself? I couldn't hear you.
Hello, what is the evening session?
It's still not audible. Can you type in the chat, please? Okay, so the timings would be given to you.
Excuse me.
अभी एक second रुको यार. The evening session, I think the timings will be given to you via email. So I don't know the timing as such, but you'll be getting the information via email. Acha, एक second. Let's go through the chat. Do we need to do something else than writing codes? No, you don't have to do anything else. There'll be a verification session that I talked about, but that's about it. What will the interface look like in the exam? It'll be similar to how you give your GRPS. The interface will most likely be the same. I haven't given an OPP in a long time, but it was like that for me. You cannot change your tabs or reconnect, ideally. It will be counted against you. If you got disconnected for a genuine reason, you'll have to inform your proctors, power cut, Wi-Fi issues and all of that. Okay, so how many questions? There'll be like 5 or 6, I can't say for sure. And yeah, you can just close. You'll have to submit your questions first thing before exiting, and you can just close the tab. Gmeet links and exam links will be given to you 1 or 2 days before the OPPE exam. No, you'll have to show your PDF ID of PDF copy if it is asked. Okay. Arunya, I think you asked your question. I'll move to the next person. Sandesh, you can ask your question.
Sir, how can we get the verification that system compatibility test has succeeded?
See, if the exam portal works for you, normally that's it. You won't be given any result as such through email and all. If the exam portal worked for you and you did not face any issues running the exam portal, then that's it. Your SCT is complete.
Sir, I have dual screen laptop, sir. Can I use it for exam, sir?
What do you mean dual screen?
Can I show the videos?
You mean one of those laptops where you have this screen and then another near the keyboard, that sort of thing?
No, sorry, it has 2 screens.
I mean, I'm not sure myself. I think you should be able to use it, but I can't say for sure.
For one is this one. Sir, I have one more video. possible, sir?
I think you can contact us later. I think we'll move to the next question. Or also, what you can do is you can drop a email to support. I think, but most likely it will be allowed. Again, it's a little
Sir, we
bit
can
beyond the scope.
one of the secondary school.
Shilpa, you can. Sanish, I think what you can do is you can drop an email to support, or you can just contact us separately. We'll take that question later. I think it's a bit beyond the scope of this particular meeting.
Okay, sir.
Shilpa, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for your time. Actually, I wanted to inform you that I haven't received any email regarding SCT or OPPE registration. So, how can I get it confirmed if I have to give the OPPE exam or not?
It's on your subject. If everyone else has got it, you can drop an email to support. I think that's the best thing that you can do. I'm not sure if there's anything I can help you with regards to that. You can just drop an email to support, and if it's still not, if you still haven't received an email, you can just, get it escalated via your group leaders and all of that.
Okay.
Fatima, you can unmute or type into the chat.
Yes, sir. I wanted to know the exact syllabus for the OPP one.
It'll be from week 1 to 6.
Okay, sir. And the passing grade is 40 out of 100?
Yeah, so it is 40% overall. So each question, if you pass all the test cases, private test cases, you'll get 100 marks. You'll have to get 40% overall to pass the OPPE.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Also another question. I'm so sorry. I'm not in any Corbett group, and I joined this link via the calendar. So how would I be able to access these slides?
I think I can drop them in the chat. You can have it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I put a link in the chat. You can take a look at them.
Thanks a
Abhimanyu,
lot.
you can. No worries. Abhimanyu, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is during the verification code, the verification phase 30 minutes before the exam. So we have to be on the exam portal, or do we have to join the exam portal just before the exam?
So you'll have to join the exam portal just before the exam. So again, your proctor will guide you through all of this. Yeah.
Okay, and I will have to join the Gmeet 30 minutes before.
Correct. You'll have to join the Gmeet 30 minutes before.
Okay, we don't have to do anything in our laptop for the 30 minutes of verification.
Correct. I mean, of course, you'll have your laptop in front of you, but you won't have to log into your exam portal.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
To answer your question, Vasant, एक second here. To answer your question, I have no idea if additional time will be given for the OPP. I think you will have to drop it. Yeah.
But that is similar to the theory exam, sir. The concept, the requirement of the additional time is somewhat similar only, in fact, this is tougher than the theory exams because we have to think at that moment and make it. I definitely thought that additional time will be provided.
Probably, but unfortunately, I have no exposure to that.
Because if we are eligible to get, then we have to ask the proctor initially whether the time has been set accordingly and all that. Otherwise, I'll be losing further time because of looking for these things.
Yeah, I think what you can do is you could drop an email to the support team just to confirm, or you could connect with me and we could ask and get it clarified on your behalf.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Yeah, no
Uh,
problem.
yeah, so how do we have to get all the test cases correct, or are there certain number of test cases that has to be corrected for the question to be passed?
Uh, Yeah, so you will have to pass all of the private test cases to get full marks, but you only have to get 40% overall to pass. So it means that you can pass partial number of test cases in all of the questions, but if that crosses 40%, you will have passed the OPP, and that's how it works. So to get full marks, you pass all of the private cases, and overall you get 40%, regardless of the number of questions that you
Okay,
pass.
okay, sir. Thank you.
So for sample questions, there'll be like a mock test that will be shared in a couple of days. That's the best source of um, sample questions. How does the confirmation email for OPP exam look? And of course, there'll be like I'll have to dig out a screenshot, but it'll show up like 1 or 2 days before your exam, and it'll have uh, your the meet link that you'll be joining and the exam portal link and a link to the SOP. Mohit Kishore, you can unmute yourself or type into the chat.
Hello, I'm audible,
Hi.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I missed the email of preferred slots deadline. So,
Yeah,
did I
so,
get slot for the OPPA?
yeah. If you miss the slot booking, a random slot would be allocated to you. So whether it's preferable or not, we have no idea, but a random slot will be allocated to you.
Okay, it's in between 18 or 19 now.
Yeah. So whatever the case might be,
You have
slot
any
will be
range of
allocated.
time in between, like 6 to 8 or?
I mean, I don't know. You'll have to take a look at your respective slots for your scores. It will
Okay.
vary from course to course. I'm not sure what it is for Python.
It's for Python,
Whatever
sir.
the case, I mean, again, I don't know what the dates are for Python. I think it's 18th and
18th and 19th November.
yeah. So yeah, it'll be between one of those dates and times.
Okay, sir. So I am eligible to give a Python OPPA, but I do not have choice to choose the slot, or no?
Yeah, it's okay, dude. A slot will be allocated to you. Whether it's on the 18th or 19th, you'll get to know when final confirmations are sent out.
Okay, okay. So it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Sneha, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
So my question is that you said that we only need to join the meet via our phone. So during the SCT, we took snapshots of us on laptop by joining the meet. So we don't have to take those snapshots and upload
Right.
in the
So yeah,
OPP.
the screenshot was only for the SCT part. For the OPP, you don't have to do this thing. You only have to join through your mobile 30 minutes before your slot.
Okay, sir.
Sir, sorry to
Okay, sir.
interrupt
Thank you,
again.
sir.
I just I did join late because of traffic in meet. So can you repeat the important points for that?
Yeah, I think you can take a look at the slides. It has all of the important things that you want to look at. I'll drop the link to it in the chat. If there's any questions, you can ask later.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yeah,
sir, we have to join the exam link via our laptop, and we just need to give the exam, and Sia will be like ongoing with that. Rest is we have to join the meet via our phone. That's enough, right? Nothing
Yeah,
else.
that's enough. That's it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Kailas, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
Yeah, so what is the eligibility for OPP? I missed that slot booking and also SCT also.
Yeah, so you will be eligible to write OPP one. I think that you'll have to give like 5 out of 8 weekly programming marks. I think that's the eligibility criteria for OPP. But I think it's better you take a look at the grading document. It has all of this information in there.
5 out of 8, matlab?
Matlab, there are like these weekly programming marks that are released for Python, right? So you'll have to pass like 5 out of 5 marks. I think again, just take a look at your grading doc. It'll have all of this information. I don't know off the top of my head what the criterion is for OPP. Chandraditya Singh, you can ask your
And there
question.
is no other type of registration for OPP, right?
I, yeah, I mean, there will be a slot booking form where you can fill your preferred slot. If you haven't filled that, they'll allocate a random slot for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Chandraditya, you can ask your question or type into the chat. Exactly. So difficulty, I mean, it depends from person to person, but it will be similar to how your GRPAs are or how your practice assignments are. Um, PYQs, I'm not sure whether you can find it, or if we find it, if we have any sources, we can share it with you. But you'll be given a mock test for the OPP, which you can use to practice. Acha. Okay, I'll move to the next person. PS Srimati, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
So what happened if unfortunately we exit from the exam portal due to some reason like network issues or power cut? If I want to continue my exams, what can I do? I again want to log into it, or what should I do, sir?
Yeah, I've already answered this question. You can log back into the exam portal. You will have to inform your proctor why you left the why you left the exam. Whether it's due to power issue or Wi-Fi issue, and you can continue your exam. You won't be given any extra time for that. So, if you lose 5 minutes, if you lose 10 minutes, that's like that won't be given back to you.
Okay, sir.
हेलो सर.
Yeah, Himanshu.
सर क्या आपको ये पता है क्या सर कि ओपीपी वाला ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करने पर कोई फी एक्स्ट्रा पे करनी पड़ती है या ये पता है आपको?
ओपीपी के लिए लाइक जो कोर्स रजिस्ट्रेशन के टाइम जो आप फी भरोगे वही होगा. आ, बाकी तो कुछ एक्स्ट्रा तो नहीं लेंगे ओपीपी के टाइम पर.
फुल कोर्स परचेज करने पर तो वो फी मतलब थी मतलब बट ओपीपी पर नहीं था.
नहीं जो अगर फुल कोर्स में जब जो भी आप फी पे करो उसमें ओपीपी इंक्लूडेड होता है. आपको
उसमें
एक्स्ट्रा पे
तो जैसे मैंने ओपीपी वाले ऑप्शन पे सेलेक्ट किया था तो मेरी कोई फीस वगैरह नहीं पे की गई थी. पूछ रहा था.
अच्छा वो यार आप मुझे नहीं पता लाइक आप रिपीट कर रहे हो ना ओपीपी, तो आप बेटर है कि आप सपोर्ट से एक ईमेल डाल देना, बिकॉज ये मैं तो नहीं बता सकता ना लाइक.
फीस से पता चल जाता, अगर फीस कटती है तो पता चल जाता हाँ हुआ है, बट आपको पता नहीं. ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Excuse me, sir. Like that link portal is gonna send us on email now.
Yeah, all of the links, the Gmeet and the exam portal will be sent to you in an email 1 or 2 days before the OPP exam.
Okay, sir. I have other question. Like rather than that the OPPA, I am repeating a subject. Okay. Remaking that subject. So I have to do assignments for that.
Yeah, you will have to do that.
Like if I am not like I am showing on my portal my selected courses, it already marked in the marks. So do I have to attend it again?
Like it depends. If you're doing it for improvement, I think you will have to do the assignment.
And if I'm not joining that, if I already have done it, so I can skip that assignments, no?
Yeah, I think so. Again, I am not sure. I think so.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Nikhil, you can ask your question. Can we check how many private test cases has been passed? Yes, you can check the number of private test cases that has been passed. You won't be able to see what those test cases are specifically. You can only see the public test cases. Yeah. Again, the entire interface will be similar to how you have been giving your GRPAs and your programming assignments in your respective course. It'll be identical to that. I think that was Nikhil. Let's move on to the next person. Shruti, you can ask your question.
Yeah, while doing the SET, I by mistake I uploaded the Gmeet screenshot of my mobile. not of my laptop screen. Will that be a problem?
No, I don't think it should be a problem as such for the SAT. Yeah.
My ACT won't fail or anything, right?
Yeah. So there's no passing or failure criteria for the SAT. It's just that if your exam portal was working fine, then there's nothing to worry about.
No, because in the terms and condition it was written that if your SET fails or it doesn't meet the conditions, it'll be like you won't be able to give the exam this term. So that's why.
Yeah, I mean it's written, but they don't usually enforce that from what we've seen. So again, I wouldn't worry about, but you could always drop an email to the support team to get it clarified. But from what we've been seeing, they wouldn't uh, penalize you for that.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Uh, Ashley, you can ask your question or type into the chat.
Sir, I haven't received any email regarding the OPP slots, sir.
So the slots, I think, depending on your subject, it'll show up in the next couple of days. If it still doesn't show up, I think it's better you drop an email to support.
Sir, also I have a doubt is that camera stand is necessary for the OPP.
Yeah, so it's ideal that you have a camera stand because the proctor might and will ask you to adjust the angles of your mobile phone, if as per the requirement. So it's better you have a mobile stand so that you can make these adjustments like they asked you to.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir.
Is there any confirmation message for SCT confirmation message?
No, there won't be any confirmation message for the SCT. If the exam portal is working for you, that's all about it.
So it is mentioned in Google document that you share that you can chat with Proctor. So it's about to give it chat. So where we can chat?
No. So the chat with Proctor is on your exam portal. There's a chat window on the bottom right hand side on your exam portal itself. So that's where you'll be talking to your proctor. So when I say chat with your proctor, I'm talking about this particular chat window.
So for this time we do not have any verification test that will be done for SCT. Like
Yeah, you will still have to join 30 minutes before your OPP slot for the proctor related verification that they will guide you through. They will ask you to show your surroundings and all of that. The whole thing.
What about ID cards? How?
Yeah. So all of that, your proctor will guide you through that. So yeah.
So I have I joined that because already my phone number 100, so it is not. I cannot join early. So what are the highlights of this? Can you know?
Again, I think for the highlights, we will the slides have already been shared. I can put
So
it
what is
once
not
again.
mentioned there about ID card or anything like needed for verification?
Yeah, I mean, so you have 30 minutes to get that right. Again, no, most of them will not ask. Some might ask. So it varies. That's why it was not mentioned in the slides. But whatever the verification process might be, your proctor will guide you through that. It won't be anything too complicated as such. You will be able to finish it within 5 minutes. So that's all I can say from my past experience, at least.
Okay, thank you.
I'll go through the chat. If you haven't got an email, just drop it to support. I think it's beyond the scope of this particular meeting. I've already clarified about the chat. It's this bottom right thing that you're seeing on the screen. Yeah, I think let's move on to the next person. Vivek, you can ask your question or type to the chat. Yeah, I think you will have to get that resolved somehow during, like if your exam portal was not working, you'll have to figure out why. Usually there are some steps that you follow. That is, you reset your browser settings, you use a new profile and all of that. I think it's better you take the help of someone, like some seniors, to help you figure out. I can't say for sure what might be the issue, but yeah, you'll have to get that resolved somehow. Yeah, again, the same thing. If during the SCT your exam portal is not working, you'll have to figure out the issue and get it sorted. It's better you take some help from either someone senior or from the support team, whatever the case might be. There are certain general steps that you can follow, which is use Chrome, the latest version. Disable all of your extensions. Maybe create a new profile, and then try giving the exam and all of that. If it's still not working, then again, it depends. So it's too complicated to describe, but you'll have to figure it out on your own. And you can always contact one of us, and we can try to help you with that.